You know when you're in a situation where you need to blot your nose or powder your face and you don't have your compact with you and it's really not appropriate to bring a purse? All you're going to need is just a piece of Kleenex, just like this. Just fold it up and just lay it on your face and let it absorb any moisture on your face, whether it's on your nose, on your cheeks, on your forehead, anywhere. This is all you need. And you could just discreetly just tuck it in your jean pocket and just go about your business and no one will ever know. There are only two reasons that I can think of why it's a good idea to put your foundation on first before your concealer. One, your foundation alone might be all that you need to cover discolorations. Therefore, you might need very little concealer or none at all. And two, if you put your concealer on first, you will mistakenly erase it off your face while applying your foundation. However, this is not the case when you are airbrushing your makeup on. Now, to ensure a light application, I like to use a concealer brush along with my fingers. And I'll start from the inner corner of the eye and I'll bring it down. Look up for me. If you want, you could just use your fingers, but sometimes it's hard to reach the inner corner of the eye, so it's always good to use a concealer brush. So I always have my model look up to open up the eye area here. And I always like to bring it down here. Sometimes there could be a line right here. You want to kind of bring the valley to the mountain or the mountain to the valley, so there's no distinction between the two areas here, the skin underneath the eye and right here. So you want to bring it down just a little bit. And then before you do anything else, before you get a cup of coffee, answer the phone, you want to set it with concealer. I'm sorry, translucent powder. And I like to use just a little cosmetic sponge like this. And I'll put it on. And I'll brush away the excess. And that powder, by the way, is usually just a little lighter than a powder I would normally use on her face. Now it's very important that you set your concealer, otherwise any makeup product that you put on next to it will just completely run off your face. For the best coverage, your concealer should be light, creamy, highly pigmented, and slightly lighter than your foundation, unless you have puffy circles under your eyes. If that's the case, then choose a concealer the same color as your foundation, or if you have puffiness without discoloration, skip concealer altogether and just use your foundation. If your concealer turns your dark circles into gray, ashy shadow, then you have to neutralize the discoloration first. Camouflage makeup or simply a concealer with a peachy undertone in it will do the trick. Bernadette is now going to demonstrate a trick I use on myself when I put my concealer on to diminish fine lines. You know that face you make when you put your mascara on your lower lashes? You know the one. We tilt our head, open up our mouth, and extend the jaw. I know. No one has ever seen you make this face until today. For those of you that have never done this before, watch Bernadette. Okay, now look closely in the mirror and tilt your head slightly down. Open your mouth and extend the jaw. Put your concealer on and set it with powder and wipe off the excess. Now I'm going to tell you what I do, and I know it's going to look kind of crazy, but the reason why I said, you know, when you put your concealer on and before you do anything else, before you answer the phone, before you get a cup of coffee, go ahead and set it, is because this eye area is going to move a lot. And then if you don't set it right away, you're going to have like some lines here. So this is exactly what I do. I'll tilt my head and I'll do this, and without even taking my eyes off of the mirror, I'll go like this. And then I'll set it, and then I'm good to go. So I suggest that you do that too. I know it sounds crazy, but I know that this technique, you know, does not work for everybody, but I know it will work for at least 2 people. Bernadette and one of you. Well, there you have it. The Awfully Pretty are making some pretty awful faces in the morning to start their day off right.